Hello and welcome back to the next part. As promised in the last part, we would start with do some examples, B coordinates, and so you can get used to this idea. So I have an example here of a basis for R2, and the basis consists of two vectors, 1, 0, and 1, 2. And my question that we're going to look at is if we're given a vector, say 5, 4, let's find the B coordinates of this vector. Okay, and so let me just give you a solution. It's a nice simple example to get us going. So we want the C1 and C2 such that C1 times 1, 0 plus C2 times 1, 2 is equal to 5, 4. Okay, so that's actually what we're looking for, right? The C1 and the C2. We're actually asking which scalars do I have to multiply to get the element 5, 4. And this one's actually very simple to look at. You can actually do it by inspection because C2 times 2 has to equal 4 because we have 0 in the second coordinate. So C2 is 2, so that forces C1 to be 3. So we have C1, C2 has to be equal to 3, 2. And this is the B coordinate of 5, 4. Okay, and just let me make a note of this. So this is via inspection. We could have used more fancy techniques, but in this case, we can just look at it. So remember what this means here at the end. We're saying the vector 5, 4 with respect to the B coordinate. Well, this is telling me take 3 times the first basis element plus 2 times the second basis element. Let's look at the case of the standard basis. Okay, and let's look at R3. Well, we know what the standard basis for R3 is, right? It's the vector 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, and 0, 0, 1. And for any vector A, B, C in R3, we have that A, B, C is equal to A times the first vector plus B times the second vector plus C times the last vector. And so the A, B, and C are actually going to give me the B coordinates, or I guess in this case E coordinates, because that's the notation I'm using. So we have that the coordinates of X with respect to E, or maybe I should rewrite it back up here because I have a different vector. I should write it like this. A, B, C with respect to my basis E is actually equal to A, B, C. So in the case of using the standard basis, when you talk about the E coordinates of a vector with respect to the standard basis, you're just going to get the standard basis information back. And so this actually holds, I don't know if I wrote it, hopefully I wrote it over here. For the standard basis of Rn, you're always going to have the property that the E coordinates of X is just simply the vector X that you get back. But if you have a different basis, right, you're going to end up with a different vector. So remember, 5, 4 with respect to B means 3 times the first coordinate plus 2 times the second coordinate. But when you're using the standard basis, what this means is you take A times the first vector, B times the second vector, plus C times the third vector. And it happens to be that you're going to get the same vector back that you started with. Okay, so let me end off this part of the lecture 23 with actually a procedure about how to find the B coordinate of X for any basis. And it's actually pretty straightforward to do this. So say you're given a basis in Rn, for Rn, and you want to find the B coordinate of X. What you first do is we're going to set P sub B to be the matrix whose columns are the basis elements. If you can hear some hammering in the background, that's some construction workers working on my deck. So hopefully it's not too annoying there. So this is called, this actually has a name, this is called the change of coordinate matrix. So you form that matrix, and then 2, what you do is you solve this system right here, PB times C is equal to X. So X is what you're given. PB is also given from the basis, and what you're looking for is C, right? So where C is now going to be C1 through Cn, and it looks like I didn't really leave myself enough room here. Then the output that you're looking for is this vector C. So it's actually pretty straightforward. It's just a straightforward system of linear equation. You have your basis, the thing that you want it equal to, and then the B coordinates is the solution to this system right here. So we'll take a little pause in our lecture, and then in part 3 of today's lecture, we're going to look at a graphical interpretation of coordinates and bases.